What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Cameron Devon Crew bringing you another long-awaited episode of Jaguar's Den podcast, long-form content for YouTube, and the podcast episodes can be found on all podcast streaming platforms: Apple, Spotify, Google. Yes, indeed. Anywhere that podcasts are found, just type in Cameron Devon Crew or Jaguar's Den on Google or in any streaming platform, and this will absolutely come up because we have fantastic SEO marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here going to bring you a real mellow episode. This one's really for the fellas. This is really for men to get their mind right. So this is going to be a mindset episode, and what I want you to do is sit back, relax, get comfortable, and prepare to take some notes. This is not going to be a highly technical episode. However, what I want you to do is take notes on some of the mantras and some of the worldviews and mindset philosophies that I want you to really focus on moving forward, that I want you to internalize, and that I want you to repeat to yourself so that you can get on the right track to valuing yourself as much as possible as a man in today's world. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, pour up some Tulsi tea, some matcha tea, stay alert, you dig? Pour up a glass of wine, whatever you do, but do it how you do it. And this episode is titled, Value Yourself as a Man. What inspired this episode is that I've been coaching men now for well over 8 years. I have coached literally thousands of men. I have been in field campaigning myself, meeting women, and working on my personal self-development almost on a daily basis for over a decade. And what I've learned, especially since coaching men, is that the most important thing that holds men back from getting the results that they want, what holds them back from being able to actually go and meet a woman naturally, put themselves out there, introduce themselves, lay down some game, exercise their mouthpiece, get into a conversation, interaction, and try to take it to a place where it goes somewhere so you can close the deal. What's preventing men from doing that is that they lack confidence, self-esteem. They lack swagger. A lot of women are like, he comes off like a nice guy, not understanding that what the woman means is she recognizes that that man doesn't really value himself. A lot of times, guys are like, you can't give a woman a compliment because when you give a woman a compliment, you are treating her how every other guy does by letting her know that she's beautiful. You're pedestalizing her. You know, if you take a woman out on a nice restaurant date, you're pedestalizing her, you're compensating, you're chasing. If you even go up and talk to a woman, you're chasing. What kind of world do we live in today? All of that boils down to the mindset of the man. It ain't the action. One man can take a woman out to a 5-star restaurant dinner date because that's what he does, because he's fly, because that's what he enjoys, and not at all come off like he's trying to impress, compensate for, or chase the woman. But another dude can do the exact same thing. He could be dressed the same way with a similar amount of money, but he could absolutely be coming off like he's trying to make a great impression, win her over, kiss ass, come off as being lower value, pedestalizing her. What makes the difference, and this is what players and men today don't understand, it's not so much what you do in the game. A lot of it is how you do it and where it's coming from inside of you. So you have to get to the point to where you value yourself as a man. When you value yourself as a man and you look at women, your dimes, your nines, your eights, and other women, if you don't believe that these women are out of your league, if you don't believe that you aren't good enough and worthy of these women's attention, time, energy, and sex, you'll never come off as low value. You can bring roses on a first date, but if you believe you are that dude and you're really not concerned with what happens after the date because you're in abundance, because you know you never sweat one female because the next female always gets better, then she's not going to have the impression that you're kissing ass and chasing and trying to impress. She's going to understand that you're simply doing what you're doing. You're being romantic, you're being charming, chivalrous, gentlemanly, confident, swaggerish, playerish, mackish. I mean, you know what I'm saying? When you really value yourself as a man, you can actually go out and show a woman a good time because you're not preoccupied with trying not to come off as a low value man. Even that thought in and of itself, if you're a man and you sit around thinking, am I coming off as low value? Can I give her a compliment, or is it going to make me seem like I'm kissing up? Can I do a nice gesture for a woman, such as open her car door, give her a little small gift, some flowers, or take her to her special spot? If you're thinking, am I doing too much? Is this going to lower my value in her eyes? Yes. As a matter of fact, your value is already lower in her eyes because your value is lower in your eyes. And that's what you don't understand. You got to get to the point where you feel like you are a prize, a gift. You have to know your value as a man. So that's the introduction to the episode. But let's really crack into what you need to do to start valuing yourself as a man so that you can get better results and change your life. Lesson number 1, in order to value you, lesson number 1, in order to value yourself as a man, the first thing that you have to do is transform and change your life. If you want to receive this game and become a new man who gets different results from what he's used to getting, you have to be willing, ready, and prepared to changing everything about your life. So a lot of you come from backgrounds where your mother and your father didn't love you enough. Maybe they even treated you poorly. You may have come from poverty, adversity, challenges. Perhaps you had limited education, limited economic opportunities, limited social opportunities. Maybe you weren't popular in high school and college. You have to get to a point first where you let all of that stuff go. Anything and everything that's ever hurt you and put insecurities and limiting beliefs inside your mind, anything that's put hurt and pain inside your heart, you have to reject that, release that, and let that go and be in the past and literally move forward to a new future that you want for yourself. And I want you to repeat, this is where you get to writing. I want you to repeat this mantra to yourself. Let's say that a woman cheated on you and broke your heart. I have never had my heart broken. I have never had a woman do me wrong. I reject that. I release it completely. I have never had my heart broken. I reject that. I release that completely. I am free. Because as long as you hold on to things that have hurt you, damaged you, limited you in the past, it's going to continue limiting you in the future because it's a part of your identity. You got to get it outside your mind so that you can create space in your mind for something new to come in. And then when you do that, your thoughts will change. And when your thoughts change and become more empowering, your emotions will change. When your emotions change over time, your general mood will change. When your mood changes, it affects the chemistry in your entire body. Your physiology will change. It will change you at a genetic level. You can increase your testosterone by changing the mind, the emotions, the mood, and then the chemistry taking place inside the body. And that is facts. Your mind is the most powerful tool that you have. It is free to access it. It's free to train it. And it's the only thing in this world that you can control. You can't control what your mother and father do. You can't control what your siblings do. You can't control what your friends do. You can't control what some bitch does. You can't control what your woman or your wife does. But what you can control is what you think, how you feel in your head. And this leads me to my next point. So the first thing when it comes to changing who you are is letting go of everything that's holding you back. Let that be in the past, and we're going to move to a new reality, a new you. The second thing that you need to do is use your mind. Now that you've cleaned house and you've gotten rid of what's holding you back, you're going to use your mind to picture a new reality for yourself. And I really want that to sink in. Write that down. I want you to write down, picture my success, my ideal self as a man, my ideal women, my ideal life. Picture my success. And I'm going to be a little bit brief on this because I go into this heavily in my Jaguar's Den online school course. It's a 5-hour-long program with the 3 pillars of everything you need to know for self-development, dating, and relationships. In pillar number 1, it's self-development, and you can learn all about what I'm about to talk about in Jaguar's Den. It's free. If you're on any of my social media platforms, just send me a DM with the word date, and then I will get you access to that course. But picturing my success. Now that you've cleaned house and created space in your mind, the first thing you're going to do is think about what you want. I want you to write this mantra down. Focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. Most people focus on what they don't want. When you focus on what you don't want, you become negative, passive-aggressive oriented. You start thinking about, well, a lot of women cheat. A lot of women aren't submissive. A lot of women aren't feminine. A lot of women aren't traditional. A lot of women don't like men who aren't 6'4". A lot of women are negative shit. Fuck all that. Fuck all that. You don't want any of those women any fucking way. So why are you even thinking about it? What do you want? Feminine, submissive, cooperative, women who serve you, beautiful, sexual, non-promiscuous, loyal, faithful, righteous, wholesome. That's what you want. Why are we even talking about hoe shit unless you're looking for a hoe? Focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. When you focus on what you want in life, it automatically rules out all of the other negative shit that you're attempting to avoid. Anyway, if you find a woman who is feminine, beautiful, submissive, cooperative, faithful, loyal, of service to you, in love with you, automatically she's not going to be a club shot. She's not going to be promiscuous. She's not going to be rebellious. All the bullshit that you want to talk to me about is not even going to be a part of the picture because that's not even in her nature. So when I go out and I meet a woman, for example, because of what I'm focused on, sure, I meet some women who are rude when I'm campaigning, spitting game, introducing myself to ladies, looking, feeling clean, flying Macish. I'll meet some women who are rude and disrespectful. I'll meet women who give me passive-aggressive shit tests. I'll meet women who I hook up with them and then they don't really want to text, they don't want to cooperate, they don't want to bring anything of value to the table. But guess what? I'm so focused on what I want, I naturally just kind of quit texting them. I don't really care. I don't have games to play with these women. I don't try to change a woman. I don't try to change a woman or a person in general or a situation. If something isn't working with me, if something isn't compatible with me, then it's not what I want. And I'm only focused on what I want. So I move forward. If I'm dealing with a potential client who wants to be in my coaching program, and for whatever reason they don't want to fully commit, I'll just find another prospect. I mean, I have hundreds of thousands of followers. I do shitloads of views. It's literally pointless for me to try to convince one person. Same thing with these women. I meet thousands of women. You can too, just by stepping out your house, looking fly and clean, and exercising your mouthpiece, putting yourself out there, and constantly meeting new women, bringing in that potential new wife, that new girlfriend, that new partner that you can enjoy and experience and build something with. But you won't get that by focusing on what you don't want. And that's what a lot of you guys do. When you watch the Red Pill podcast, Fresh and Fit, other things where all they do is berate, degrade, and constantly fearmonger about all the things you should avoid, all the red flags, 25 red flags to look for in women. Who gives a fuck about that? How about 25 positive things to look for in women? That automatically cancels out the 25 negative things, because women typically don't read the Bible on Saturday to older women, you know what I'm saying, at the old people home, and also suck dick at the club listening to Tiesto on Saturday night. Like, that personality is super abnormal. It's going to be extremely, this is not realistic. A lot of times, when you find yourself in a situation in your past where you were hurt, someone did you wrong, someone was not faithful, someone took advantage of you, that's your fault, because the signs were there. You should have seen them. You didn't pay attention to them. You didn't respect them. Or you were too needy and desperate on making the situation work and trying to fucking force it to work, trying to wait for the woman to change, that you did it to yourself. You chose that situation. You're the common denominator of that choice, especially if you've experienced that with multiple women. So what you need to do is start practicing focusing on what you want and not settling for anything less. And not settling for anything less. That's the next part. So you need to get really clear. Number one is you need to reject, release, and let go of everything that has limited you and hurt you from the past. The second thing is that you need to focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. And not on what you don't want, and create a clear picture of your success. The third point that I want to make today is that you need to get it really crystal. The third point that I want to make today is that you need to get it crystal clear inside your mind what the proper man to woman dynamic should really be. A lot of you guys have it twisted. A lot of you guys think when you turn 18 years old and a woman turns 18 years old, you think a young, hot woman, a young lady, the body's popping, breast on point, face on point, hair nice, ass nice, slender, but scrumptious, you know. You think this woman is at the peak of societal value. And you think that you, as a man who's just getting into college or just starting a career, just starting to make money, you barely have a car, you barely have a place of your own. You think your value is down here, and you think that woman's value is up here at the upper echelon of life, which is exactly why a lot of millionaires end up on yachts with women who don't deserve to be there. Allowing them into their space, a man who's dedicated 20 years of work in his education and career, networking, and building income, to allow someone who is undisciplined, inexperienced, invaluable, to enter his space simply because of superficial reasons. The Western man, everybody says this, oh, the modern Western woman has it backwards. No, the modern Western man has it backwards. Because you should only be fucking with women who have some real value to bring to you and to lay upon that table. A woman ready to bring nurturing, acts of service, to bear children, to be wholly faithful, loyal, and trustworthy. a woman to spiritually pray for you on a daily basis, a woman to praise and worship you and suck your dick while you eating your biscuits and gravy in the morning, a woman running errands, making sure your suit is firmly pressed and ready and hung up in the shower as you step out to go do a meeting, a woman who is going to maintain your and help your family relationships, a woman who you can bring on your side and go to a meeting who can be a status symbol to you, a woman who can spread positive words of affirmation about your family name in the public. Rather than going on Instagram and showing off her body, she's going on Instagram and promoting you, your family, and how much she worships and admires you. Instead, y'all bring fucking thoughts onto yachts that you worked your ass off to get to, mansion parties that you worked your ass off to get to, that the woman doesn't appreciate. She doesn't even understand what it cost. She doesn't know what it would take to be a wife in that situation or to support a man in his journey of culminating that situation and bringing that into manifestation. It's your fault. It ain't the woman's fault. If you give somebody a free pass to Disney World and Universal Studios and never charge them anything, and they can eat and drink whatever they want and skip the lines for free, what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna take absolute advantage of it. And then you wanna turn around when they divorce you, cheat on you, jump from man to man in your same situation because they have no concept of faithfulness and they have no concept of having to earn something because everything was free. Then you want to turn around and be mad at them. No, I'm mad at you. You're fucking the game up for everybody who's trying to keep it Mac-ish. You're fucking the game up for everybody who's trying to put some principles and dignity and structure into how we actually deal with these women. So, all of you need to get it in your mind. What is the proper dynamic between a man and a woman? At 18 years old, hot smoking woman, man who has some potential in his life. Good head on his shoulders, good integrity, character, good personality, has a vision of trying to get somewhere, ambitious, hungry, broke, but ambitious and hungry, hot and experienced, but whatever. What you need to do is understand your long-term value as a man. If you're gonna work the next 10 to 20 years and devote yourself to education, personal growth, and your career, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a skilled tradesman in blue-collar work, or whether you're gonna be a white-collar worker, an intellectual worker, you need to understand that your 10 to 20 year value from 18 to 40 years old, that is how you need to feel about yourself today. And if you're gonna be able to provide a beautiful life, beautiful home, cars, resourcefulness, the ability to travel, degrees of freedom, protection, security, peace of mind, freedom from stress to a woman and your family, if you believe you will be there in 10 to 20 years, then why are you over here feeling insecure, needy, and desperate for a girl simply because she has on fishnets and a skimpy outfit at your local bar, lounge, or club? She ain't got nothing to offer you. Getting some pussy from a woman who has a nice little booty doesn't really offer you anything. It's entertainment. You can ride that ass for 15 to 25 minutes, and after you ride that ass, it becomes a memory in the back of your mind. And then you have to chase and chase and chase and chase to find another memory. But how about valuing yourself? Meeting women, don't get me wrong, but finding a woman who chooses up on you and wants to commit to you, be loyal and faithful to you, serve you, and build a foundation, a family, and a legacy name with you. How about you get a woman where your time, energy, and resources that you do spend on her don't go to waste? That's what you need to do. The first thing you need to do is get rid of everything that limited you from your past, reject it, release it totally, and let it go and move forward. And then you need to focus on your picture of success. And you need to focus on what you want and not on what you don't want. You need to focus on the positive things in yourself in your life presently and what you want for the future, and not the negative things from your past, your present, or the negative things that you're looking to avoid in the future. Third, you need to understand the proper dynamic of what a man to woman frame should be, which is that the long-term value of a man is to be able to provide, protect, and most importantly, more important than your money, any day of the week, because money comes and goes. There's been times where I've been eating, the bag was just plentiful. You dig what I'm saying? When I was less skillful, less resourceful, less everything. You dig what I'm saying? Money would just sometimes come because the economy is good. Sometimes you have to work a little bit harder for that bag. And sometimes you got a budget to maintain what you have. But your money isn't your best value. Your status isn't your best value. Your mind is your best value as a man. Leadership, your ability to get into a woman's life, understand who she is as a woman, what are her goals, aspirations, dreams, beliefs, and then what's holding her back? What are her fears, anxieties, worries, concerns? What are her insecurities? Where could her self-esteem be better? Perhaps her relationship with her family, friends, her career, how she handles the home environment, all these things. Your ability to step into a woman's life and make her life better from the inside out, make her into a better woman, that is your greatest value. A lot of people say, girls like older guys because they mature faster than men. That's fucking false. That literally doesn't even make sense, because most guys have more experience than most women. Especially in their youth, guys are out adventuring, running around, exploring, doing things like that. No, the reason women are interested in older men is because they seek leadership subconsciously. They want a man who can make decisions for them better than they can make for themselves. So if you're 21 and 21-year-old girls aren't into you, it's not because you're 21. That's a limiting belief. It's because you don't know enough. A woman is never going to be interested in a man whose mind is not more developed and his experience in life is not further than her own. So if that means this 30-year-old good-looking guy has more leadership, knowledge, and wisdom than you at 21 years old, it's probably valid. It makes sense that she'd be more interested in him, because women are not interested in men for physical superficiality. Women are interested in men for leadership, because leadership begates experience and wisdom, which is the most likely indication that he can lead her to success over your stupid ass. So if you don't know shit, if you haven't been anywhere, if you haven't done shit, if you haven't had experiences, if you haven't had successes and failures, if you haven't taken risks where some succeed and some fail and grew beyond that, then women are not going to be attracted to you. And there is not a shortcut for that. There's no gang thing I can give you to to just bypass the fact that you ain't worth shit. If you ain't worth shit, become worth shit, and then women will know it when they look at you in the eyes and hear you speak. The way you carry yourself, it will be obvious. So I've had this my entire life because I've always taken a bunch of risks. I left my hometown at 20 years old and moved to Orlando, Florida. Spent some time in Miami, lived in Vegas, LA, Phoenix, Atlanta, been all over the country. Like literally I've been all over the country. So by the time I'm 30 years old, I've started 8 businesses. I have a successful business. I've had a strong corporate career that lasted 6 years. I've worked with some of the biggest name brands in the world in corporate recruiting, some of the biggest name brands in the world in the self-development space. People akin to, like, let's say Anthony Robbins. So at 30 years old, dude, I've had the experience level of like somebody who's 40, 50 years old. So with me, I don't have a problem. You know what I mean? I can get women my age, older than me, younger than me, it doesn't really matter. Because like most guys just don't compete because most guys have lived these lives of low risk, low reward. I played high risk, high reward. I would spend all my money to move somewhere, to get some experience, to have some adventure, to gain knowledge. I'd spend all my money to go to a men's leadership conference in Miami, sleep in the back of my car that night just to go soak up some game for a weekend, go back home with that motivation, make the money back sometime that month, and then keep it pushing. But now I'm a better man and I have more wisdom. I put my money into a business, fail, lose the money. Might take 3 to 6 months to recover that. But now I have that knowledge, that wisdom, the tenacity to overcome the adversity, the resilience, the strength. And that is what has built my value. And people can see that in my videos. Women know it when they meet me. And there's no way around that. If you don't have that, there's no way around that. Okay. The fourth thing that I'm going to say, so let's recap. The first thing is you must reject, release, and let go of everything holding you back. The second thing is that you must picture your ideal success and focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. The third thing is that you must know the proper value dynamic and frame between men and women. The fourth thing is that you must invest in yourself as a man to build your value. The fifth and final thing is that you need to learn the game. Because going out here and getting money and getting status socially, I don't care if you have a bunch of Instagram followers or if you're somebody in your community, that is not necessarily going to attribute to the type and quality of success that you want in your dating and relationship life with women. Let me repeat that. Having money and status will not necessarily translate to you having the type and quality of success that you want in your dating and relationship life with women. What do I mean by that? Jeff Bezos got divorced and got hit for $500 million. Fucking Elon Musk is several times over divorced. Aiden Ross, the little famous rich gamer, fucking girls cheating on him all the time. That doesn't translate. If you don't know the game of getting into a woman's mind and heart to make her fall in love with you, to be devoted to you, submitted to you, faithful and loyal to you, if you don't know how to access a woman mentally and then through her heart, you're in a vulnerable position because women live in an emotional realm. They are emotional creatures. They're very unlike us as men. You can respect a man who's disciplined, consistent. You can look at his numbers, his metrics, his earnings, and respect him, even if you don't like him. It's not the same for women. If they don't like your ass, if they feel like you don't know them, in other words, if they feel like you don't know a lot about them, they feel separate from you. If they don't feel close to you, an emotional connection that's very deeply entrenched, they don't feel devoted and committed to you. Their loyalty comes from their emotions. Your money, they might, get along with you. They might be along for the ride. But you have a woman who is not devoted to you, who doesn't care about you. She's in the situation for the money and resources and the clout that may come from being with you if you actually have clout, which most of you don't anyway. You don't want to be in a situation with a woman where she's with you for what she's getting superficially. You want to be in a situation with a woman who's with you because she is madly in love with you and couldn't picture her life without you, even if you were broke. And trust me, when a woman is in love with you, like my wife, for example, moved in with me and slept with me on my studio apartment on the couch. It was 325 square feet. She slept with me on the couch in that studio small apartment for a year before we moved into our nicer condo, and then so on and so forth. We were renting a car from my mechanic that was old, and she was exuberant to move in. She was just in love with me. It was just about being with me. But if you having nice shit and being successful and having money and being able to provide a certain quality of lifestyle, if that's a requirement, get out that relationship, it's going to end badly for you. It's going to end badly for you. That's the fifth thing. Get your game right. You can join my free school community course where I break down self-development. I break down everything that you need to know about success with women, from how to get your house playerish, how to take care of your car, how to get your wardrobe and your style on point, posture, how you carry yourself, your voice, everything, all the way down to the game from open to close, how to go meet a woman naturally, get into a conversation, have an interaction, have an instant date, plan a date, bring it all the way to that close, and how to manage the relationship, and have a bonus course on the sex game, you dig? So you can not show up in the bedroom and get embarrassed and have your name and have people and have people ragging on your name in these streets for having a whack D game. You don't want that. Get in Jaguar's Den. Just DM me on any social media platform, Instagram, TikTok, DM me the word date, and I will get you free access to the course. Right now, it also comes with a weekly free Zoom training called Live with Me, where we will be chopping up game. I'll drop some game, whatever's on my mind that week, and do a Q&A session so that you can get answers to whatever it is that's holding you back to make weekly progress. Come on, man. This is a $7,000 valued offer for free. So hop in, because it's going to be expensive to join this course in the near future. But if you get in now, you're going to be grandfathered in for free. So take advantage, join the course. I just want to fill up the community with like-minded men who are really about taking action. But if you're in the course and you're not going to engage, if you're not going to make posts, if you're not going to join the calls, we will kick you out. That is the only caveat. But if you get in and you're active and you're really a member of the community and you're contributing by being a contributing member in that manner, then you can stay in. We won't kick you out. But if you're going to be a bench player or a lurker or somebody who's kind of creeping, you dig, especially if you're going to be negative, you're out. Yes, indeed. I want to see y'all inside Jaguar's Den. Again, DM me with the word date. This episode was all about how to value yourself as a man. When you get this through your mind, your life will change.